I sat down with a mentor in a coffee shop after I moved to Baltimore to study at Peabody. I had voiced my frustration to her in not being able to find a church singing job. Many singers in college seek out paid church choir work as a source of income, since holding down a steady job while also taking classes and spending countless hours in practice rooms, rehearsal spaces, and performance halls can be extremely difficult. She contacted her colleague, Doug Buchanan, who let her know that his younger brother, Ben, was looking for a bass at the St. John's Quartet. Ben wrote to me, inviting me to audition. He explained that it was a bit of a drive, but he would like me to meet at the church. I didn't mind an escape from the city, especially once I learned how beautiful the country is out here in the valley. I was also excited to learn that the church is Episcopal, which is the same church I grew up in. At the audition, I sang an aria, sight-read some hymns, and looked through Anglican chant for the first time in my life with Ben. The whole time, I had this strange feeling of familiarity in an unfamiliar place, the kind of feeling that reminds you of home. Nearly 4 years would pass by until COVID-19 began to wreak havoc. Some church services were canceled, and we began submitting virtual recordings to Ben for our live premiere services. Many of my colleagues whom I went to Peabody with were afraid, knowing that they had lost the money they were counting on because of their own service cancellations and COVID restrictions. This was not the case at St. John's. Not only were we compensated for canceled services that we were contracted to sing, we also found a way to keep making music together from a distance. This kind of appreciation for artists is uncommon. To say that I am grateful that St. John's remained faithful to its commitment to us singers couldn't be more of an understatement, and I will never forget the kindness and generosity. In the first phase of post-vaccination life, I sang at a funeral at which Tracy was celebrating. At the time, I was working in admissions and registration for the Peabody Conservatory as a temp worker with no guarantee of being hired as a permanent JHU employee. Though I was and am thankful that I had full-time work throughout the pandemic, the thought of having no job security with the school was scary. At the funeral, Tracy and I had an opportunity to catch up and talk about life. She asked me how work was going, and I was honest with her. What I didn't expect was to be offered a job as St. John's Parish Operations Manager. Now that I've taken on this role, I've had the opportunity to get to know more of you and to work more closely with the ministries here. I am so happy to have become more involved in the Grace of St. John's, not only as your administrator, but also as an active member. This wonderful place has done so much for the choir and for me. From day one, I have felt surrounded by people who care for each other and support us without even knowing a lot about us. After more than 4 years working at St. John's in various capacities and receiving all of the love and care that you all have to give, it is abundantly clear to me that this is more than a place to sing and worship. It is home. I hope that you will join me in giving back to this incredible little church in the valley. Thank you.